Welcome back to Let the Boys Watch, an entertainment podcast brought to you by Going Great Productions. I'm one of your co-hosts. My name is Robbie, and it's still Oscar season. This week, we threw out a poll for Best Supporting Actress. So it was Best Supporting Actress week, and the winner was Lupita Nyong'o for the 2013 drama and 2014 Best Picture winner, 12 Years a Slave, directed by Steve McQueen, written by John Ridley, based off the book 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup, starring Chiwetel Ejiofor, Lupita Nyong'o, Michael Fassbender, Brad Pitt, Paul Dano, Benedict Cumberbatch, Paul Giamatti, Sarah Paulson, and rest in peace to the god Omar himself, Michael Kenneth Williams.
Oh, I forgot he died. That stinks.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm sorry to
well,
interrupt you.
no, it's okay. Chalk it up to the 30,000th of the time.
Omar coming to heaven.
And alongside me is a man who potentially rigged the election. The cuz.
Many people are saying it's very fair, very good election. Perfect election.
Some people saying the best election ever. The cousin Benny. How you doing?
4 more years. 4
Unbelievable.
more years.
Unbelievable.
Stab to the heart.
Listen, you're getting all your panties in a bunch for no reason. I don't even know what this accusation is.
The
I'll tell you the
evidence is damning.
accusation.
Go ahead. I mean, let me see some. Get through the intros, would you, please?
And alongside me and Corrupt Charlie is a good friend of ours and one of our co-hosts, an honest man. Some would say honest Abe himself. One of our co-hosts, Ryan. Ryan, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. I try to be as honest as possible. Like I don't influence my friends to, vote for certain things.
Tell
What do
me
you
about
what
it.
do you what do you think campaigning is all about?
Oh, so it's like that.
I mean, there was a discussion. There was a
Okay.
discussion about how some people look at stories and don't vote, or some people claim to be best friends
Okay.
and don't vote, say that they're going to write emails.
Right.
And discussions of the podcast happen. Oh, what's up for the vote this week? We spoke about it. We might have stated a preference, may have asked what their preference was, and it just so happened to align. That's it. But I mean, to think that I'm involving my brother, I don't mean I don't even know the last time he texted me that wasn't in a group chat. So listen, this is all fake news. I'll turn my phone over right now. I got nothing to hide.
I just find it hard to believe that we got a friend request late in the voting process, and I find it hard to believe that this person would enjoy a movie like this, not because it's a bad movie, but you know,
Well, that person said that they didn't care for LA Confidential and the other movie they had no intention of ever watching, and that they saw 12 Years a Slave and they liked it. So they listen, I'm just getting us followers, I'm getting us votes. What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
I want you to be an honest man. I want you to be honest.
Babe, I'm so honest that listen, it's hindered my life, my honesty. I should have been lying left and right. Who knows? I would have been a billionaire, trillionaire.
Right, like Forrest Gump, a gazillionaire.
See Benny cutting the lawn in Alabama.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to after I get kicked off this podcast.
I almost boycotted. Not gonna lie to you, doesn't take much for me to boycott. I almost boycotted.
Please. I don't you want to we want to talk about voting irregularities. I got a list. I got a list. Me and Rudy are gonna release them at the Total Landscaping 4 Seasons.
Hopefully your hair dye doesn't leak off your chin.
Well, stay tuned.
Well,
The
like
betrayals.
Robbie said.
Listen. I'm sorry
No,
for interrupting you.
continue the
I've
try.
been betrayed many times in my life,
Oh my
but this
God.
one cut to the core.
Well, listen, I mean, lawyer up, buddy. All right, I'll see you in court.
Do we
I
know
know
any
somebody
other
well.
lawyers?
Yeah, Vincent LaGuardia Gambini,
You're gonna lose.
still practicing as Jerry Callow.
if you love My Cousin Vinny, listen to our last episode on My Cousin Vinny, or 2 episodes ago, where the vote was proper.
Mod on, mod on. Listen, if you're listening to this podcast, can you please vote every week so I don't have to hear these two knuckleheads accuse me of falsities?
Please.
It's
Please.
baseball season soon, so maybe he'll just retire from the podcast.
Oh my God. It's gonna be a baseball movie every week for the next 25 weeks.
Oh my God.
As long as it's Major League, that's all I care about.
Yeah, Major League
Back to
25
back.
weeks in a row. Well,
Let's
anyway,
just say the winning vote, who even knows who that person is? So I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, turn up your phone. Let me see
Yeah.
any burner accounts.
burn.
I'll show you all of them right now. I'm not doing it for the people of the world to see. I'll show you.
Okay.
You want me to screenshot it right now?
Off
This is
off the record. We can do it off the record.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a journalistic guy. I have integrity.
Okay.
Unlike others.
All right.
Listen, I need you to find me 11,000 votes.
We almost needed 11,000 to turn the tides on this one. We had so many votes.
Oh,
So many views, so little votes, as they
yeah.
say.
Anyway, please vote on the stories. We see who looks at it. We know you're not voting. Vote so we don't have to deal with this anymore. Benny's already sending pictures.
I'll clear my name, I swear.
But this is Let the Boys Watch, like Robbie said. Maybe the last episode ever. We'll see. And typically we watch movies that one or all of us have never seen. And like Robbie said, this week was 12 Years a Slave. So have any of you seen this movie?
Nope.
All right, so all three of us are new. All right.
No, I like to watch it every Christmas morning.
Because I want to
This
be
is your-
depressed for the rest of the day.
Yeah. No, I haven't
so-
seen it.
Awesome. So normally what we do is anyone who hasn't seen it kind of talk about, what you thought going in. Like, did you want to see it previously? That kind of stuff. So who wants to start?
Robbie, please.
Did I want to see it? Probably not. And not because, I didn't think it was a good movie, or, there was so many actors in here that I love, but I just don't like watching movies like this because they make me feel sad, and then they make me feel angry. So I'd rather not do that. I'd rather spend my days watching YouTube or playing PGA Tour. So I wasn't gonna. I don't think I was ever gonna watch it because it is a tough watch. And I'm not trying to be dramatic, but it definitely is a tough watch. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad it won. I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, actors in here were fantastic in it, and it was a great movie. And I love the way it was shot, and I love the way it was done. So yeah, definitely didn't think I was wanted to watch it, but I'm happy I did.
Yeah, totally agree. I did want to watch LA Confidential, but we're busting Benny's balls whether votes were illegally gotten or not. I still was interested in seeing this movie. I did very much like it. And I did want to see it when it came out. I don't know. I just never saw it. But I definitely agree with you, Robbie. Like, it's a movie that I really, really liked. The acting was fantastic. The directing was fantastic. But I don't really want to watch it again. Even my wife was saying, like, when this one, she was just like, she's like, it's such a good movie, but it's so hard to watch. So that's kind of how I felt going in. And I think, that was an appropriate feeling. I mean, will I watch again? Yeah, maybe. It's a really good movie, but it's a tough watch.
Yeah, I don't think I ever wanted to watch it. But when I saw the cast list, I was like, "Ooh, this looks really interesting." And obviously, I knew all the hype that it got when it came out. I mean, ever since the holdovers, I've been craving more Giamatti. So I was hoping he had a pretty big role in it. I heard him briefly talk about this movie with somebody, and the way he was talking about it, I thought he had a bigger role. So that's why I was kind of super into this one. But Yeah, I was like you guys both. It's hard to watch at some points, but it's one of those things that you kind of need to see. It's good to. I like the how the main through line of this movie was everyone is complicit on some level, and it was you see how normal it was. And I think that that's kind of the thing that I took away from it is you're in a situation where everybody knows what's going on is horrific, and they're either complicit in it or they just don't say anything. So it's a tough watch, but it was good. It was a good watch.
Yeah, even the one, like maybe the one dude that was like against it and had something to say about it, conveniently producer who cast himself as the hero-ish role. Like that's dangerous to say that type of stuff, especially depending on where you are. So yeah,
Yeah.
But even
I like
Cumberbatch, so, sorry, can you hear me?
yeah.
Even Cumberbatch was quote unquote a nice slave owner, but still, like you said, he was complicit. What he was doing was unjust and unfair, and no matter how good of a person he thought he was, or he came across on the screen, he was still a slave owner and still sold into an absolute fucking lunatic, fudging lunatic.
yeah, I do like to touch on your point about Brad Pitt. Like it was his production company. I think part of the reason he threw himself in there was just another name to get
No, I
people's
know.
attention on the film.
I did
But
read that, like that
but
people had said that he cast himself as like the good guy, and
yeah,
yeah, it's he's a big name. I get it.
yeah.
Brad, I'm just
But
busting your balls. Don't worry about
listen, I'm on edge today, babe.
it.
But what I will say, I will come out
What a fraud will do
firmly.
that.
I will firmly come out against beards with no mustache. I never want to see
Disgusting.
that. Oh my god,
Disgusting.
it's the worst. It is the absolute worst. I hate it. Even on Brad Pitt, it made him look like a greasy bastard.
He couldn't pull it off. I'm like, this guy looks like a bozo. But getting back to I mean, Giamatti, fantastic. I mean, he's just the best. I mean, I know he was an absolute lunatic in this movie, but even the way he was cusping those buns, he was doing it with such vigor. So he's I can't say enough about Giamatti. It should be
Yeah,
Giamatti week every week.
yeah.
It could be. I mean, for several weeks. Um, nice. So let's get into like overall impressions and plum scores. Does anyone want to go first?
No, I do
I'll
not.
go, I'll go first.
All right, go ahead.
Um, yeah. So, like I said, I mean, I thought it was a good watch. I enjoyed, Robbie had mentioned the direction. There were so many just beautiful shots in the movie, which I think perfectly counterbalances the horror that's going on throughout the whole movie. Um, I hate to say it, but I think one of like the most incredible and like shaking moments of the movie is when he's at Benedict Cumberbatch's ranch and he's tied up and he's just like tiptoeing around and you see like life starting to go back on and like nobody's even paying attention to it. It was just the way it was framed, all that stuff was you were on the edge of your seat and I feel like you were like that so many different ways throughout the movie. I saw some people online say one of their biggest complaints about this movie was that it didn't quote unquote feel like 12 years or it didn't seem like 12 years or they didn't give you anything to let you know how much time had passed. But I think other people put up a good point saying that that's intentional because to these people every day, it doesn't matter. Like time has no meaning at that point. You're just in this world of self-loathing and hating the situation that you're in. And I kind of like that about this movie. Do we want to go ahead with plum scores now, or do you guys want to give your
Yeah, we'll go ahead with our overall impressions. We'll do plum
okay?
scores after.
Yeah. So all in all, man, I just thought it definitely deserved to be honored as one of the best movies of the year that it was in. Um, so yeah, incredible movie. I enjoyed it from it was a 2 hour and 15-minute movie that felt like an hour. It went by super quick for me, so I enjoyed it a lot.
Agree.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. Uh, I love the set pieces. Um, I love the Spanish moss. Love the swamps. Love the New Orleans as the backdrop. It was like I said, it was a tough watch, but it was a good watch. And it was a powerful movie, and I wrote that down. Well, the way they just lingered on some of the more violent scenes in the movie. And I don't think I've seen anything like that, you know, ever in a movie film like that kind of. You kind of get a quick glimpse of the violence, and then the camera like pans away from it or something like that. But this stuff just lingered on. Like it was insane to me. I was like, I said to myself, I'm like, when are they gonna get away from this? When he was hanging, and with his feet, barely touching the ground. I'm like, Jesus, and it was so crazy. Like Benny said, everybody was just going on with their day. Nobody was trying to help them or anything like that. And it was just insane how long the shot lingered. Especially when, I forgot her name, but when Lupita was getting whipped, it was insane. It's how realistic it was kind of gross and sad and disgusting, but they never went away from the shot. They and I of course it was purposely done, but it was powerful, and it was nauseating. But no, I just think everything about this movie is great. The direction, the writing, like I said, the set pieces, and just the acting from everybody was out of this world, outstanding. And yeah, I really did thoroughly enjoy this movie a lot, and I definitely would watch it again. Yeah, that's how good I thought it was.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. There's a lot to like about this film, even though the subject matter is sometimes a little hard to stomach. I can't agree with you guys more about like some of the shots, the location. Is that what forgive my ignorance, is Spanish moss? That's the stuff that's like hanging off the trees like that? That's what that
Yeah.
is?
Yeah.
That's, I mean, I didn't know what it was called. I didn't look it up because I'm lazy, but I love that. I just love the shots that had that kind of stuff in it, just the locations, even the rough shots, like you guys talked already about the shot with him hanging and the lingering, and just the whole scene was, while revolting, was beautiful. And I liked that they stayed on it so long, because you got, I forgot who brought it up, but like Benedict Cumberbatch is supposed to be like a good one, but he didn't fucking do anything for all day. He just
Well, I
let him hang
think
there.
I think he was away.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe. Is
And I
that what
think that's because
happened?
he comes like charging back, and he like comes at the
Okay.
rope so quick, and brings him inside to let him heal up a
Yeah.
little
All
bit.
right. Then that makes more sense to me then.
But still, I mean, like Robbie said, good in quotation marks.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, that's okay. Thank you for correcting me. But yeah, I really like this movie a lot. I think I just was looking at like all the nominees for 2014. I think it did deserve to win. Some of the other movies that were nominated are really good too. But yeah, I'm as much as I was bitching about that this ended up winning and I wanted to watch another movie, I'm glad I saw this movie finally. So maybe we'll try the other two movies another time. But yeah, loved it. Um, I said I wouldn't watch it again before. I probably would. I just probably not for a while, I think. It's such a it's movies like this are weird, where they're so good but like hard to watch. Whereas there's so many movies that are just so bad, but I could watch them a million times. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, some dumb comedy or something like that where I could watch it nonstop. Um, and this like is fantastic, but I don't want to watch it anytime soon. It's kind of strange.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
such a difficult subject matter.
Right,
I could
right.
watch. I mean, it's you know, ingrained in our history, obviously, but it's still difficult to watch and think about, what, 400 years later or something like that, 200 years later, it's still, going through it, not at that level, but still lingers throughout this nation. So it is tough. The subject matter is tough, and it's always going to be tough because there's such a terrible time period and terrible things that happen to these people for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that it really it pulled no punches, and I think like
It
you
didn't
guys mentioned,
sugarcoat stuff.
no, not at all. And to kind of my point earlier, like the fact that um Solomon is doing the whipping at one point, it's like it's so jarring to see, but you almost like you're like, yeah, I could kind of see this happening with the way that they treat these people, the way that they think of them, and it's just even more humiliation to like thrown on top of everything. And it was, like I said, it was intense to watch from beginning to end.
Fassbender, what a piece of crap.
The
Um,
worst.
um, should we get into plum scores?
Sure.
Who wants to go?
I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I went with 9.3. I just thought it was, like I said, from beginning to end, I was locked in, didn't want to look away. Um, just I don't know what my score was um going into the last scene of the movie, but that last scene of the movie is just in a way I wish it was longer to kind of, everybody knows I want my podcast of what happened next. Um, but just how brief that reunion is and how emotional it is and how it ends the film, I just thought was the perfect ending because the story wasn't about all that. It was about his time, and it's such a crazy story, man. And just those last things that you linger on the screen about how he's this happened, it happened. Not only did this happen, this story, but it happened to so many people. And that's something that the little that we were actually taught about this period of our history, it just kind of glazed over in our history lessons. It was even more horrific. Like things like this happened where, okay, we're not bringing in any more slaves, so how are we going to do it? We're going to just start like kidnapping people. And he's one of the lucky ones that was able to get out. um so yeah, just that final scene and the final words that you're left with, just great, incredible movie. 9.3.
Nice. Robbie, you want to go? You want me to?
Sure, I'll go 9.4. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and like Benny said, yeah, it had a happy-ish ending, but there was a lot of unhappy endings for people. Nobody was lucky, uh, like Solomon was, and you see it, the juxtaposition when he leaves the plantation, and I keep on forgetting her name. Lupito is just sitting
Patsy.
there, Patsy just, and then just, kind of passes out because that's just, she lost a friend or an ally, and she's going to be living in Fassbender hell for the rest of her life. So yeah, it's um it's tough. He was lucky enough to get out of there, but it's just a powerful movie, and I'm glad it didn't pull no punches. I'm glad it because it shouldn't have, because you can't kind of gloss over what happened because it's such a horrific time period in this country, and I'm glad that the shots lingered. I'm glad that these characters portrayed these absolute animals because that's what those people were. To do something like that, you have to be a different kind of person, a sociopath. Yeah, you know, Cumberbatch, whatever, decent, good guy, probably not, but still lingering asshole. And yeah, so 9.4. I didn't think it was going to be a nines for me when I first started the movie, but there are too many powerful scenes and too many powerful performances for this not to be in the nines for me.
Yeah. I think too, it's like I mentioned earlier, it's, yes, the people were sociopathic in the way that they treated the slaves, but you see it with I don't know if it's a coincidence that it's the wives. It's like how ingrained it is that they are subhuman. And like these people, it doesn't matter. Like you need to treat them like dogs and beat their lessons into them. So it's either you're sociopathic or the belief that you're better than these people is so instilled in these people that, like I mentioned earlier, there's so much culpability to go around that it's incredible. It's incredible to watch all the different levels of it.
Yeah, like one of the craziest scenes. There was a lot of hard scenes to watch, but you brought up the wives when what the hell is her name? Was it Sarah something? Sarah Paulson maybe?
Yeah.
When she threw that decanter at
Oh my
Patsy,
God.
I was like, holy shit, try not to curse, but holy crap, like that was wild. Like that's
Yeah.
That
like
surprised me.
shocking.
And
I was shocked. Yeah.
it's crazy because even as much as try to use the character names, Epps
Yeah.
cares, quote unquote, about Patsy, like her throwing that in her face like did nothing to him. He like
Yeah.
he didn't even react to it because at the end of the day, like he said, it's his property and you can do whatever you want to it.
Right. Wild. All right. I gave this, I was going back and forth a lot with this film. Wildly going back and forth a lot. I settled on 8.9. Um, I really, really like this movie. Again, I've said it before, and it's maybe taken a hit, I guess. Not that anyone cares about what I think or my scores, but rewatchability like really definitely pushes movies up for me. And I know it's not the fault of the movie because it's so good. It's the subject matter for me, but that's why it kind of fell out of the nines a little bit, but I didn't want it to fall too far. So 8.9. Um, again, glad we watched it. I was kind of down for a few days after I watched it, but no, it was a good movie. I'm glad, even though the winning is suspect, I'm glad it won.
I'm trying to teach you guys a lesson. That's what
Oh, is that
happened.
what it is? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm old enough. I'm done with lessons. No more lessons for me.
Yeah. Please,
You
I've
could
had
stand to
enough.
learn a few more.
Yeah, you've been talking to my wife, huh?
Hmm. We got a separate chat. Me, her, and I.
Ah, typical.
Typical
Uh,
women. 3 women in a chat together.
oh my God. Um, all right. So you guys want to do favorite scenes or I shouldn't say favorite, but scenes or characters first?
Someone
Uh,
pick.
let's get the scenes out of the way because there's not a lot of favorite scenes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's do, yeah, we'll do scenes first. We'll do, I guess, favorite scenes first, because like you said, um, I think there'll be more. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see how the discussion goes. So does anyone want to go first? Favorite scene?
I've gone first twice now. Somebody else take it. Take it.
All right, I'll go because Robbie's got a dip in his mouth or something.
Gippa got Zin in.
You hear that? All, is it coming across?
No, you can't hear it, but I could see you got,
I got it shit.
um, anything good?
Double bubble Easter eggs
Nice.
gum.
Nice. Starting
I
Easter
s-
early.
yeah, my sister got it for me stupid because I go through them in one day because I'm a psychopath.
There.
Fassbender at Jace.
Some would call me the Michael Fassbender of double bubble.
All right, so I'll go first. Favorite scene. Um, it's tough. It's tough. It is tough to pick a favorite scene because one scene that jumps out is a really hard scene to watch, but it's so good that it's hard not to pick. So, and we've already mentioned it a number of times, so I think I'm gonna go with it and pick the scene where um wow, now I can't think of his name. Solomon or what was his fake name that they gave him? Do you guys remember?
Platt.
Platt? Was it Platt?
Platt. Yeah, Platt. Where Solomon is hanging, and he's hanging there all day, and it's such a powerful scene. The fact that it lingers so long and that just everyone's just going about their business behind him, like it's a really, really strong scene. and the way it's shot, and just, like the pit in your stomach is just rising. Like, someone cut this guy down. Like, get
Yeah.
someone help him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go with that one, even though it's a hard scene to watch. But there's a number of scenes in this film that are like that I'm like, wow, that was great, but geez.
Yeah. I feel better about myself that you did pick that scene because I wanted to pick it, and I was like, "Am I gonna look like a psychopath picking that scene?"
No,
But
I don't think so.
it
I
was
mean,
just,
it's hard. It's a hard scene to watch, but it doesn't. And again, it's a movie. We're not
yeah.
watching
No,
real
I know,
life.
but
So,
it was so gripping. It was
oh,
like you
crazy.
couldn't, as hard as it was to watch, you couldn't look away at all.
Right.
You want to pick Rob?
Yeah, I'll lighten the mood a little bit. My favorite scene was when Solomon, aka Platt, beat the crap out of Paul Dano's
Nice.
character.
Yes.
If there's anything about this podcast, it's me getting enjoyment out of Paul Dano getting his butt kicked in movies. He got his face shoved in the mud by our boy Daniel, and there will be blood. And he got whipped almost to death by Solomon in 12 Years a Slave. Um, it's always crazy to me because, and it was a little sidetracked, but when you think of like movie stars, you think of like handsome, good looking, out of this world, gentlemen. But then you get people like Giamatti and Paul Dano who are so good at what they do that it boggles my mind. So every time I see Dano, I'm excited because I know I'm getting some kind of wacky ass performance. And he was so evil in this movie and menacing. But again, such a coward, such a little baby bitch. And nothing brought me more joy than seeing Solomon whip him a couple of times because Solomon was, the man was an absolute magician with the wood. There was no seams. The house was probably going to be built to perfection, and he's over there kicking the wood down. So he deserved to get his ass kicked a little bit. So
Oh,
that really lightened the mood in a moodless movie.
Yeah.
imagine you're putting siding on your house and some a-hole comes over and kicks it off. I would probably murder that person.
Yeah. Imagine you're trying to drum up support for your podcast that you do with your two buddies, and then people just start accusing you of rigging the election. Anyway,
But imagine that the last four votes are for the same movie, and one of them just conveniently followed the account.
And imagine that, the vote comes in really, really late after a 24-hour voting process, and all of a sudden this person decides to talk to his friend and his wife.
I oh
Magically delicious.
I was with them.
That's what I figured.
I was with
Oh,
them.
must be
See,
must be
it's all
nice.
coming together.
Now it's coming together. Now the plot thickens. Now, this little bastard. I mean, it's funny how the kid that voted can't answer in a group chat of
Listen,
if he's available for a weekend to hang out, but he can gallivant with you. You guys are probably playing tummy sticks, and then you guys are voting frauds all over the place.
we were looking at the T-Rex in Museum of Natural History. No, he said that he owes us an email and he wants to come on to discuss the movie that he picks. But anyway,
Wait,
my
wait, hold
favorite,
on 1 second. Thanks for the invite, Benny.
it was to take his son.
I have a son.
Well,
Be back, my son.
please. We've abandoned our boy.
That's okay. I'm just joking. Go
I
ahead.
know.
But it sucks.
I'm
It
just
sucks when
take,
you're riddled with guilt that you have to, try to do what you're doing right now. It's a sad day. It's a bad day.
please. I'm just merely defending myself. Total exoneration. Um, my favorite movie or my favorite scene from this film. You guys actually took both of them. But I will go with what I think is chalk is the end. I mentioned it before. It's just so like incredibly emotional. Like I don't understand. That's the one thing that I don't understand about actors is how they can pull from wherever it is they're pulling from to cry like that, to be so emotional in a scene. Meanwhile, I don't think I've cried in the last 15 years because I just bottle everything up. But he was insane in that moment. I don't understand how he was able to portray that, just the whole family getting together and you see the emotion out of all of them. I love how you don't see, again, this kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier with the passing of time. Like he kind of looks the same throughout the whole movie until he gets back in that suit, and you can kind of see, then you kind of see like the hair is grayed a little bit. He looks a little bit more weathered. Um, just a fantastic end to the movie. So yeah, that was my favorite scene.
Yeah, I agree. One thing right before that, when he got in that cart with his boy, I forgot his name, and the sheriff, can you imagine? I can't even imagine the feeling that must have been like. Absolute, absolute bliss.
But even
Yeah.
to
So,
that bliss, go ahead, Rob.
no, you go ahead. I'll save it.
But even to that bliss, it's like it's still cut
Oh,
to the
yeah.
core because he's leaving these people, and
Oh,
again,
no, I
this
know. I'm
no, I
sure
know,
conflicting emotions. Yeah.
exactly, but it's not like it should have been this moment of just like you said, unadulterated like bliss. But even that you can't get because of not only the relationship with these people that you've built, it's like you're seeing your brothers and sisters essentially, and there's nothing you can do. Apps, there's
Right.
like we talked about it with the whipping and all the other stuff. The people watching him just hang from the tree. It's like there's nothing you could possibly do, and there you can't even try. So it's insane. It's insane how, and they were able to portray that, and just like that close up on his face as he's riding away in the cart, and then the look back and everything. It was just so well done.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you
Yeah.
going to say, Robbie?
Oh, it's like I can understand that bliss because the bliss that I get every time I hit the leave this meeting after this episode's over, the bliss I get from looking at you two is the best.
And
But no,
immediately turn on YouTube.
turn on YouTube, turn on Stump the Schwab, and I'm ready to go. Night night. No, but that was one of the most emotional and powerful scenes I think I've seen in a movie in a long time. It was great. It was unbelievable. Uh, yeah, I can like to piggyback off you, Benny. I can never get how somebody can just instantly cry like that or get like that or even Fassbender with that rage. Like, what happens when the camera's cut? Like, if I was Fassbender, I'd be apologizing to everybody on set. For obviously I'm only acting, but I would still feel bad for the words I'm saying and how how physical I am with some people. It's just crazy how they can turn it on and off.
Well, it's obviously you're all in it together when you're filming this movie, and but dude, the amount of N words that get dropped all over the place, it's like got to be so hard to like stay in character, say those things right to their faces, and not only that, but for those actors to not take it personally in some way, because at the end of the day, that's still got to hurt. But I guess you're just in this zone of like, hey, this is what it is. This is the script. This is the time we're playing. It's just it's nuts.
Yeah, it's wild. Um, any honorable mentions for favorite scenes?
Um, Again, another one that's like gonna sound psychotic, but it's the Fassbender, Solomon, what's her name? Peggy?
Patsy.
Patsy. That scene. I mean, it's just so brutal, but Fassbender's just on another planet, like acting wise, like it's insane. He's just he was incredible in this movie. I know we've all said it at least once. And again, the same thing from Solomon, like oh man, like the way he was reacting from the first time he's sitting here, then when he actually goes like hard, it's just, and then obviously, I mean, what can you say about Lupita in the scene? She's just again on like the three of them just in that scene is they're on another level, a complete different level.
yeah, I had some like reservation. I'm watching the movie and I'm like, what the hell? Why the hell did she win Best Supporting Actress for? Like there was like maybe she was in there for like a couple scenes. And I'm like, what, what did she do? Not to say to deserve, but then I'm like, oh, okay. Then this scene happened. And then the scene, when she was telling Solomon to basically drown her in the river. And I'm like, okay, now I understand. But it was because she wasn't on the screen that much. But when she was on the screen, I mean, she was amazing. And that's what I'm saying, like, even stuff like that, like the, you know, the getting whipped scene. Like, obviously she's not getting whipped, but when that's happening and when she's at like you said, Benny, they have to feel some certain. You can't just turn it off unless they can. Uh, I don't know. It would be a difficult scene for me to shoot. Um, you know what they were doing, but like you said, maybe they just turn on and off, and that's why they're actors.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it
I
affects
mean,
them differently. Like I've heard some people say that they can go from, acting like a complete psychopath to then like as soon as they say cut, they're joking around. And other people, it's like just back away,
yeah,
leave,
I need to
like let
calm
them.
down for a little bit.
Yeah. So, and then you got your method actor. So, I mean, I guess it all depends on the person, really.
Yeah. And I'm more than sure that people's feelings are getting hurt all over the place, and it has to be like chill, like maybe this is their first film or first, dramatic film or something, whatever. But yeah, it's very impressive how there's not more, I don't know, fist fights or something. Um, I was gonna say Ani Mensch also, again, tough scene, but the whole scene with Solomon getting kidnapped again was tough. But great scene with the kidnapping and then just and being transported, and of course my man in that, RIP. Um, but like crazy, just absolute nuts. Like the fact that what I wanted to ask, and maybe it's I missed it, like I missed where was what's Ford, where he was when Solomon was hanging. Did the two kidnappers put on a fake circus just to kidnap this one guy? Like, I don't get
Ye-
it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe it was that they had it and it was just a way to
A
like,
way
oh,
to
this is
just
convenient.
also make some more money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think I
So,
saw someone somewhere it said like, so Solomon got purchased for $1,000. That would be something like 27 grand in like it was 2014 money. So maybe
yeah,
now like, I don't know,
70 million.
68,000, 70 million, with inflation.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that I thought that was kind of crazy. Like, I guess they must have already had this, and were just like, oh, a violinist who we can also kidnap.
Yeah.
Let's set him up, and then we'll just keep going with our stupid circus.
Yeah.
Any other Ani Menches?
No, I think you guys handled it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of good scenes, but yeah, we'll leave it there. Um, Least favorite scenes. Anybody have anything?
Please.
Yes. I think it was the song that Paul Dano sings like that. I mean,
Oh
Yeah,
my
with
God, I forgot about that.
good
with half,
choice.
which is it's crazy to to say like with all the brutal stuff that was that you saw, but that was like one of the most uncomfortable things to watch. Again, it's like how are you like, yeah, you're in the cone of making a movie, but like that's got to be, man, that's got to be tough to like do in front of a bunch of black people. So I mean, hats off to him, I guess. But but that scene had something that I liked that they did a few other times where they kept the audio of something going on, but then like cutting to other scenes and then coming back to that. But yeah, that was one of the scenes that just had me like squirming the most.
It's a testament to how terrible the other scenes were in this movie that I completely forgot about the Paul Dano song. I really just, you completely reminded me of it. That was so uncomfortable as well. Unreal.
Is it whose turn is it? Mine or yours, Robbie?
Oh, we're doing snake drift. Well, that was I think it's mine, maybe. Um
Yes, it is.
I'm
Yes.
gonna have to go I'm gonna have to go with just the whipping scene. With Solomon having to be the one to whip Patty and then Fassbender taking over and going ballistic, and just the brutality of the scene. I don't even know how the hell they did that when the whip with like just the lashings that were going onto her back. It was so disgusting, and it was like tough to watch. But another powerful scene, like I said, and I mentioned it earlier, they didn't, they lingered onto these powerful, terrible scenes as long as they could, and to drive a point home, obviously. But yeah, that was tough to watch, and uh Lupita was amazing in that sequence, and how difficult that part was for her to actually act, but she was unreal in that moment. But such a difficult scene to watch and sit through. But you know, they all of them in that scene, uh, made the scene by their performances. Really was unbelievable.
Even that one little line she throws in when Fassbender gives him the whip.
I want
It was,
you.
yeah, she's like, I'd rather it be you. It's like, ah, Jesus. Like that's just horrible.
Stuff. I'm gonna go least favorite scene. The scene where they that group shows back up to Epps' farm, Fassbender's farm, after working at the Judge, I think was his character's name, Judge something. Um, and he comes out pantsless, probably drunk, and is just clearly grooming that little girl for future Patsy similarities or
Yeah.
something. At least that's the way I read it. Um, that was just uncomfortable to watch. I did not like that.
Yeah.
All right. Any Yanni mentions?
I think that the Giamatti scene was incredibly tough to watch. It was just
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is sociopathy. It's just like nothing. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows he doesn't care about splitting up the family.
Right.
He's in fact he's like encouraging it. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't want. Like, it's just,
That was hard.
man. I love you, Giamatti, but I hated you in this movie.
Yeah. That was rough.
Yeah, that was rough, splitting up the family. And then when they go back, the mother goes back with Solomon to Ford's plantation, and his wife was just like, "Yeah, you'll forget about it."
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was like, "All right, sick."
Yeah.
yeah,
All you need is like, doesn't she say like, all you need is like a meal and a rest and you'll be fine? Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. A nap and a sandwich. I'll forget about my family. That's right.
yeah. But
Didn't
that,
that,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say in that scene when Giamatti's splitting up the family, it's off screen, but doesn't he kick one of the kids too?
Kind of.
I'm pretty sure he like I don't not like full kick, but like push him with the I was like,
Yeah, like a
Giamatti.
sidekick. Yeah.
Jeez.
He
I'm
went
out
all
on
he went all
Giamatti.
in.
I'm out on
um
Giamatti. I'm out on the Museum of Natural History, and I'm out on voting. Three things I'm out on.
all right.
Um the Geodes exhibit still there?
I don't know. I don't think we did the geodes. We did dinosaurs. Listen, we got to keep a 5-year-old entertained, or however old he is.
What kid doesn't like rocks? Come on, is it a little boy?
Yes.
Little boys love
He
rocks. Ask my
he
son, he
was
collects them all day.
he was into the dinosaurs.
Nice.
He was into the bugs.
Nice.
We did a little bit of space,
Cool.
and then it was we got to get the hell out of here time because it was getting a little cabin fever in the old museum. So we did what we could.
Fair. All right, should we do least favorite or favorite characters first?
Mm,
It's a tough one. We can go
it is a
favorite.
tough one.
All right, do favorite. Robbie, you want to go first?
Sure, sure, sure.
Please.
Uh, my favorite character in this movie was Chiwetel Ejiofor as Solomon Northup. And this is gonna be a take of takes, but this was one of the greatest performances I've ever seen on film. I don't care what anybody says. Um, it's a shame he didn't win Best Actor. Tired of
Yeah.
McConaughey. I'm tired of whatever that stupid performance was. I mean, I know he went up against the god DiCaprio, Wolf of Wall Street, another tough one, but the layers of his character, the emotions that were portrayed, it was just amazing to watch. And that's what I love about movies and actors and actresses. Like just to be blown away by somebody's performance. That's why I love watching movies. Um, and I was blown away by his performance. He was this movie. Um, his emotions got to me. The way he was stoic, the way he was sad. I mean, when that dude collapsed in the cotton fields and they buried him and then they start singing the song and they just focus on Solomon's face and he's just sitting there and then he kind of like gets emotional and sings a song. I'm like, this is unbelievable. And then Benny said it and you said it, Ryan, a bunch of times. The ending, the acting in the ending scene of the movie is unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's apologizing for getting kidnapped. He's emotional. He's crying. I mean, I can't say enough. And I'm not even BSing you. I was blown away by his performance. I loved everything about it. He deserved every accolade that, you know, he should have gotten or did get during award season. It was an amazing performance and one of my favorite performances of any movie I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you could have said better. It's just like you said, it was so complex. Every emotion you could see, like all like the checklist of different things that he had going on in his head. And I think about, like when he was leaving the plantation, when the mother got taken away because she was just crying all day. Like, you saw the different layers that he had going on there as well. It was like you said, incredible.
Yeah.
It really wasn't. And it's as I choke on spit and a burp, sorry, but
Call it a spurp.
yes, burp. It was unbelievable. I would watch this movie again for his performance because I was just so captivated by him the entire time. The emotions that he portrayed, I can't believe somebody was able to act like that.
Yeah, it's one of those movies. Like, I know it was based on a true story, but like you almost forget that it is a movie, and you feel like you're watching something real going down. So, but that's just a credit to him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna say other names. I'll just say one name. Like when I see Brad Pitt, oh, there's Brad Pitt just being Brad Pitt in every movie. I
Yeah,
love Brad
that
Pitt, but
accent.
yeah, I love Brad Pitt, but it's just Brad Pitt and I want to get lost in a character. Like I was lost in Solomon's character. I get lost in, DiCaprio's character in Wolf of Wall Street. I get lost in Pacino's character in Godfather. Like you get lost in these characters because you don't recognize or realize like, oh, that's Al Pacino acting. And that's what I love. Brad Pitt, it's just like, oh, cool, Brad Pitt, handsome Brad Pitt, talking like Brad Pitt, walking like Brad Pitt, shitty ass beard like Brad Pitt, handsome as ever like Brad Pitt. It's just Brad Pitt to me. While these other performances are just, you know, out of the ordinary and just different.
No, great. I mean, did you any of you guys see that movie that McConaughey won for, Dallas Buyers Club?
No, I
I
just remember
didn't.
he was like 7 pounds.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. Maybe we'll put it on the docket at some point. But
Yeah, and sorry,
no, go
and
ahead.
Fassbender for not winning Best Supporting Actor, while Bozo Jared Leto wins for the same movie. Please, I didn't see the movie, but you're not going to tell me that he was better than Fassbender. You're not.
Ah. We might have to watch this movie just so we can like be pissed off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm
Going in with
surprised.
a
So
clear bias.
this film basically just won Best Picture, which I mean, obviously, and Lupita won for supporting actress, and that was it, as far
Which
as
is
we know.
insane. It's insane.
That is crazy.
I don't even know who won Best Director that year.
I don't know.
Screenplay, it didn't win screenplay. I don't
Okay.
believe.
Best director was Alfonso Cuarón for Gravity, which
This movie
what
stunk.
Come
did it
on.
stink?
Yeah, it
It
feel
was
stunk.
like it was
Did I see it?
and I don't want to say it stunk, but it was not even Oscar bait. It was just like, hey, look at what we can do with CGI. Like that's what that whole movie was. And it was Clooney and Sandra Bullock, and it was just
Oh yeah.
it was so mid. It was so mid.
So it was like Avatar, but in space.
But at least Avatar, there's a ton of stuff going on. You know what I mean? Like, not like, but like all the wildlife and all these crazy characters and all that kind of stuff. Gravity, it's just like they're out in space, like, and they don't know what to do. It was not worth winning any awards for.
Mm.
Yeah, it bored me to death that I turned it off.
I do like Alfonso Cuarón, but I'll take you guys' word for it. I don't remember. I think I saw that movie. I don't remember. All right, where are we?
Gravity.
Oh, uh,
Favorite
Benny, do you
character.
want to go or should I go?
You can go.
All right. I'll go with we're doing favorite character, right?
Yes.
All right, yeah, and I'll go with Lupita Nyong'o, uh, because obviously, I mean, she won for this. This was the reason we picked this picture, and like Robbie said, I was like, all right, I know she won. Like, when's this gonna happen? And then she's on screen, and you're just like, holy crap, amazing! Like every scene she was in, she was so good in. Um, so I'm gonna go with her as favorite character.
Good choice. My favorite character, I mean, the good ones are off the board, so I got to go with the devil himself, and it's Michael Fassbender in this movie. Like, Robbie mentioned losing yourself in a character. Like, there are certain points where, again, I was like, this is not Michael Fassbender. This is the character. This is who he is. Like, The Killer, I think, was the first movie I ever saw with him in like a big role and completely underestimated him as an actor. Like after watching this, I have a complete new respect for him because I was like, oh, I he was good in it, but it was very like one note performance in The Killer. And this is just on it, like again, on a whole nother level. The fact that these people didn't win awards for this movie or didn't sweep is crazy to me.
Yeah, he's good. He was so good as Magneto in those X-Men movies, even though those movies were kind of, and
Was
he
the
was
bright spot.
obviously fantastic in Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, please.
Yes. Okay. I wanted to mention that because obviously Inglourious Basterds is one of my favorite movies, but I didn't realize that that was him. I mean, I didn't know who that was up until I guess like this year when we started watching The Killer and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When we have a podcast with this guy, ridiculous.
I don't know. I know the big actors. I didn't know like guys
That's the
on
bender,
Fastbenders.
man.
Listen,
That's the bend. That's what
I
we call
need
him
to go
right
on
here.
a Fastbender bender and watch a couple movies.
Bender week.
What?
Bender
Let's
month.
watch Futurama. Um,
I
Honey
didn't get
Matches.
that. Sorry.
Sorry, yeah, that's one of the
I get it.
characters in that show.
Oh,
Honey
Honey Manches.
Manches.
Yeah, it's a number. I mean, like, I'll throw one out while you guys are thinking. He was awful, and I absolutely hated his guts. But we already mentioned it already. But Giamatti, I mean, of course, piece of
Yeah,
crap, but was a fantastic character.
Giamatti, the
obviously.
best.
The best.
One of the goats.
Really.
Uh,
Un
uh,
unbelievable.
Has he ever won an Oscar?
No, please.
No,
What?
Devastated.
this was his big shot. The holdovers.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wow.
He won a couple of the best actor awards leading up to like this award season leading up to the Oscars. So like some people thought he had a chance, but I don't know. I never thought it was gonna be anyone other than Cillian Murphy that was gonna win it.
So you saw, I know it's getting off topic, but you saw Killers and Poor Things. Did you
Mhm.
think Emma Stone deserved that one?
Lily Gladstone was like really, really good. I think she was the best part of that movie. Um, but I think Lily Gladstone deserved it, but I think that Emma Stone, like after watching that movie, I was like, this is the kind of performance that they're gonna say, okay, she gets an Oscar for this. But I thought I'm not disappointed that she won. I just thought that maybe Lily Gladstone was better. But I just thought it was. I don't think Poor Things was like an Oscar bait movie, but it was just like that typical artsy movie with that kind of performance that like always you see it and you're like, yeah, this is going to be the one that wins. But I thought
Hmm.
Lily Gladstone deserved it.
Fair.
I watched both.
Yeah, same. Maybe we could talk about it later, but I was gonna say maybe the next vote is like those three. We'll see what the fans think.
Mm.
We'll talk after.
All right, we'll talk off
Well,
air.
just the fans. There's only a couple fans that I love. Other than that, take a hike.
Any other Ani mentions? I could probably mention one or two people.
I'm always torn on Benedict Cumberbatch. Like, is he a good actor? Do I just kind of like his vibe? I don't know, but like I kind of I
It's like he
enjoyed him
seems
in
like a cool dude, and I
yeah.
would like to hang out with him, but is he a good actor? I don't know.
Yeah, like there was nothing he didn't do anything wrong in this movie. Like there was nothing I could point out and be like, why did he do that? Or that was kind of odd. Like he was solid. I think I just like him a lot from Sherlock and from being
Yeah,
Doctor Strange that I'm just
yeah,
like a
same.
fan. But I'll give him a shout out just because he was in the movie and he was
Yeah,
quote unquote good.
yeah. Um, yeah, I agree. I don't know. Seems like a good dude, but is he a good actor? I don't know.
I'll
Um,
give the limited amount of screen time to Michael Kenneth Williams gone
oh,
too soon.
the best.
Shame, 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 shame. Loved him in a ton of stuff, so it's a little tough to see. But I was hoping he had. I saw like his name in like not the marquee, but he was mentioned. So I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna get a lot of him. I can't wait to see what he delivers. And then I was like, all right, good night. See you later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Overboard.
like
thanks.
Overboard.
5 minutes.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
overboard.
Supposedly
yeah,
there
that
was
was
a
a bummer.
really emotional scene that he filmed that got cut, unfortunately, but that would have been nice to see.
Hopefully, he was walking with a trench coat and a shotgun in his jacket.
Singing
Coming
Farmer
back.
Adele.
Yeah,
Yeah, coming
Um,
back for revenge.
yeah. The
I for
ghost of Omar.
I think don't get mad at me, but you saw Boardwalk Empire, right?
I did, yeah.
You did, yeah, and he was amazing in that as well.
Chalky, the
Chalky,
best.
yeah, the best.
Even what's his name? I forgot what's name was in there too. Jeffrey Wright. I mean, there's so many good people in
I
that.
love Jeffrey Wright.
The best.
I want him to narrate anything. Like narrate a recipe for me and I'll listen to
You
Yeah,
make the
take
best
over
chicken
for
cacciatore you've ever seen.
it.
take over for Tucci and I'm all in. If it was Stanley Wright, Jeffrey Wright goes abroad to Italy and tries all Italian food. Because
I'm
I'm
in
me, I'm out in a Tooch.
there.
Hate the Tooch.
Hate the Tooch. What did the Tooch do?
Tooch is too much for me. And when people just get a little too much, like
Would you say
calm
that he's
down.
Tooch much?
He's too much. Yeah, he's way too much, and I'm just done with it. It doesn't take much, but I'm over the Tooch, and if I never see the Tooch again, I'll be a happy man.
Fair.
So
Um, All right. Let's move on to least favorite characters. Who just went last?
Oh, it's me, right? Huh. Um, Least favorite. Give me Taron Killam as Hamilton because he was another one that just took me out of it when I saw him. I'm like, is that? He
Yeah,
just seemed out of place. I
good
mean, good
choice.
for him. Good for him. Like, I'm sure he wants more serious roles. It's not really his fault, I guess, but to see somebody from Saturday Night Live in this movie was just kind of like, oh, all right. And obviously, part of one half of the diabolical bastards that set this movie in motion. So Taron Killam, nothing personal, but my least favorite character.
Freaking Barnum and Bailey over here just kidnapping people.
Um, I'll go. I hate to do it to my boy, and it's not because he put in a bad performance, but I'm gonna go least favorite character, Paul Dano. Just because he was just such a
Invincible.
little weasel. Like he plays that part so good that just like thinks he has some influence and power, but is actually a wimp. Um, he plays that part really well, like we said, like Robbie, you were saying about in Let There Be Blood. But I like him a lot. He's in a lot of movies that I like. So, but I'll go with him as least favorite because he stunk.
So
His hat was
sniveling,
stupid.
yeah, a sniveling jerk. That
Yeah,
haircut.
yeah.
Like,
Um, Molly's fairy character is Stanley Tucci. He stinks, and I hate his guts.
who
No,
is he in this movie?
he was the one of the Italian slave traders. He was making pizza in the back for a couple of scenes. No, my least favorite character is uh Michael Fassbender, and it's not because of his acting skills or anything like that. Again, it's the same thing with Whiplash a couple weeks ago. It's just the performance of what an absolute sociopath scumbag that he was. Just the way he played it to a T. How much you hated him and couldn't stand him. It's a testament to his acting skills and the character he played. But man, I'm sh I know there was, you know, tons of Michael Fassbenders or people that own slaves and act like that, maybe even worse than that. And it's scary to even to think like that, but it's true. And he wasn't just one of one; he was one of many back in the day. So it's it was a really a sniveling lunatic character that made you hate him. I know Brian told me um about this movie and he liked it and he said how good Fassbender wasn't it, but and he said Fassbender played a crazy part, but I didn't think that it would be that crazy. And you see like these characters and you're like, man, why doesn't Fassbender get more roles or do more movies or is more of a leading man when you see movies like this? So it's I keep on saying Testament, but he played this part as well as anybody could have played it, and it's a good job by him for such a piece of crap character.
Any honorable mentions for anyone we missed?
I mean, everybody that Sarah Paulson, again,
Oh yeah.
fantastic acting job, but also like, man, fuck you, F you. Uh, she was it just every time she was on the screen, she played that role so well, and it just made you hate her so much. So again, it's that double-edged sword of I hate your character, but I love the performance.
Right. Put a
Yeah,
lot of that in
she
this.
scraping her her face was like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right.
Can't even give the girl a little biscuit either. Let her eat, man. Um, Giamatti getting too handsy with the slaves. I mean, cupping a couple butts and things like that. But just a testament again. I wish I could find a better word than testament. But Giamatti, the best, fantastic actor, and he played the part so well, so good. And yeah, and even the one guy when Solomon's first captured, with he has the chains on and he comes in and just starts. I keep even forgot about that scene. Just smashing him in the back with that wooden plank. That guy looked like he was enjoying a little too much.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
call.
Yeah. I mean, that was the real like buckle up moment of the movie. Like if you think this is tough to watch, like get ready for the next hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, I kind of thought like because I had no idea about this film that maybe like early on like Solomon was gonna, I don't know, like maybe try and emancipate some people or like do something good. Like I wasn't prepared for the fact that he was gonna get kidnapped and be put in that situation. Like I had no idea. So yeah, you're right. That was like, yeah, like all right, it's gonna get crazy now and he gets
Yeah.
chained to the floor. Ugh, wild. Um, all right. Let's move on. Anything or any ideas that you guys have to make this movie better?
I am gonna steal part of your uh speech about Michael K. Williams and say that I want that scene in the movie. The scene, the emotional scene with Michael K. Williams. Because honestly, this was a movie that I would have been fine with another half an hour, but you know, perfect as it was, pretty much. Um, yeah, but I would have liked a little more Michael K. Williams.
Yeah, good choice. Um, yeah, besides that, I would you mentioned something, and this was gonna be mine. Anyway, is I love to know what happens, which is why I'm so interested in your podcast and your other show. Um, I would have loved to see just a little more of like the end, like to see him maybe maybe a little more of like the trip up back to Saratoga or a little more with the family and now has a grandchild and like all this stuff. Like I would have loved to see a little more of that. I mean, the way they did it was awesome, but I just I like to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Robbie, anything from you?
Uh, Probably half an hour, 45 minutes more of what's his name? Chiwetel Ejiofor's acting. I could have watched that for 5, 6 hours. It was that fantastic. I can't say enough.
Yeah, maybe a little like I've said it a number of times. I love a good come up. Like how did he become so successful and like have this awesome house, family, like living it up in Saratoga with all like seemingly all that cash, buying bags for his wife and stuff like that.
Please, flush for cash, some would say.
Yeah. Um, all right. I do have a way that we can make this film better, and that's by working overtime and playing cast Matt Damon in a random role. Um, again, some reason we decided to cast Matt Damon in every movie we watch. So the role could be made up or one that exists. Does anyone want to start?
Take it away, Ryan.
All right, I'll go with this is I don't remember his character's name in this movie, but another movie or not another movie, but a movie that I love is Finding Forrester. I don't know if you guys ever saw that movie with
No.
Sean Connery and I can't think of his name. Regardless, if you didn't see the movie, Matt Damon plays like young, kind of dumb, not dumb, but like young, inexperienced, maybe a lawyer in that towards the end of the film. He's just small part. I don't want to give too much away because it is a fantastic film that you guys should watch. So I'm gonna go with Matt Damon as, and now I can't think of the guy's name, but basically the guy that comes and saves Solomon at the end. I mean, who wouldn't want to see Matt Damon showing up like a mirage, like sent from heaven in a carriage with the sheriff to come save you? I don't know if it gets better than that.
I was actually gonna pick that guy as my recast. Um, Robbie, I need to save the best for last for you. So I'm gonna say now that Ryan took mine, I know Daniel Day-Lewis has done this part already, and some would say he was almost perfect in it. Give me Matt Damon as Abe Lincoln. uh, and this is how we get our extra. This satisfies your want for more at the end of the movie. Honest Abe hears about Solomon's story, invites him to the White House. They have a nice sit down dinner. Um, he honors Solomon with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and then says, "Hey, Solomon, you want to go check out this play?" And it cuts to black.
Love it. Love it.
Oh
What
my
a
goodness.
what an ending.
Wow, fantastic,
Wow.
right?
Jeez.
And then
Benny Spielberg.
he gets the people that kidnapped him in, and they're like, Abe, how could you investigate us? And he says, I'll investigate anyone I want, you cocksucker.
Love it.
All right. Give me a young, disheveled, full bearded, hair, natty. Give me Matt Damon as Bobby Tubman, Harriet Tubman's husband, an interracial relationship. And in this movie, Solomon isn't saved by whoever that guy was. He's saved by Matt Damon and Harriet Tubman. Bobby and Harriet Tubman come to save Solomon, save the day, escort him in the Underground Railroad, and then they take him up north to Saratoga. And they go to Saratoga Racetrack, bet a couple of ponies, and live out their days. So give me
Love it.
a young, disheveled, hair all over the place, full beard, none of that fake Brad Pitt half beard stuff. We're going full bearded Matt Damon as Bobby Tubman, Harriet Tubman's husband. Saved the
There you
day.
go.
Underground Railroad.
Love it.
Put both of them on a $20 bill. Bobby and Harriet.
I love it.
Imagine if Benny didn't have the mustache right now and how
Oh
weird
my
he would
God.
look.
It'd be terrible. It'd be absolutely terrible.
All right, anything else that anyone wants to say about 12 Years a Slave?
I was just thinking of a scene I wanted to bring up and I completely forgot. Oh, you know how I want to give a major FU to, and it should have been my least favorite character? The dude that dimes out Solomon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What a jerk.
What a jerk.
What a real jerk. I mean, I'm upset that we're trying to cut back the cursing on this podcast because, man, there's a lot of things I could say right now about that guy.
Is cursing does it even matter? I don't know.
I don't know, but it seems like we get more views when we curse less.
I guess. I mean, the last 2 episodes ago, we got a lot of views, and the last episode, not so many.
Not a lot. Tell your friends, people, would you please?
Yeah.
Tell them. Please.
Please. All right. Yeah, I'm glad we watched it regardless of voting. This was a good movie. I'm happy happy it won. I'd like to watch LA Confidential eventually, so maybe we'll put it in another vote, and Brian would be happy too.
Yeah, let's pretend like he wasn't trying to put his fingers on the scale.
He only voted once.
Okay. He didn't try to influence. He didn't try to influence.
Didn't seem like it.
Didn't seem like it.
What'd you vote for, Robbie?
Confidential.
Oh, Ryan,
But I wanted to see Confidential. I don't want to see Blanchett in The Aviator. And this was too depressing to watch.
Yeah.
But not as depressing as watching you on the screen right here for an hour and a half on the Zoom call.
We'll get used to it. Because we got 150,000 more episodes to go.
Oh my God. Imagine us just old as hell talking about films.
We'll be scraping the bottom of the barrel at that point.
Yeah. This week we're watching Major League 3, Back to the Minors.
Watching Bull Durham too.
All right. Well, like
next week, Gigli.
Oh,
please.
ugh. like you said, tell your friends. Follow us on Instagram. I didn't do that at the top of the show like an idiot.
It's all right. We were on a lot of tangents.
Yeah. Send us an email. ltbwpod@gmail.com. It's in the show notes. I don't even really need to say it. Vote, you idiots that watch the story and don't vote. Even if you don't know the movies, just pick one. Stupid. Um, Regardless, we still love you. That's it. Robbie, have a good night.
Good night, Brian and Megan. You suspect.
Totally exonerated.